Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, all praise belong to Allah alone. Peace and blessing upon the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his family, to his companions, and his true followers until the end of the day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to have a journal review on the dynamics and existence of Islamic Party in 2019 general election, a case study of Prosperous Justice Party or PKS, written by Muhammad Haris, Yuwanto, Teguh, Yuwono, Nur Hidayat Sardini from Diponegoro University, which is published in Indonesian Journal of Islam and Muslim Societies, volume number 10, number 2, 2020. Well, let's check this out.
Now let's begin the presentation. First, the abstract. It's interesting to observe the development of Islamic parties in Indonesia. This paper is aimed to analyze the existence of Islamic political parties after the 2019 general elections. The result shows that people have less trust to Islamic political parties. The biggest factor is the corruption done by politicians of some Islamic parties. It is hoped that with the existence of Islamic parties can change the bad image of Islamic political parties dealing with corruption. The study will be held by analyzing PKS as a participant in the 2019 simultaneous general election. This research shows that regeneration carried out through tarbiyah or teaching can embed party ideology in cadres but fail to increase voters in a fast time. Next, the introduction. It is important to have political parties in a democratic system country to represent the community groups so that people can deliver their political aspiration and participation. In 1999 general multi-party election, the first election in the era of reformation, many Islamic parties emerged. There was a shift in the map of political power in Indonesia. Islamic political parties have developed in Indonesia since the beginning of the elections in 1955. The 2019 elections were the culmination of direct elections and were also the first time to be held simultaneously to elect the president and vice president and to elect legislative members at the national and regional levels. In 2014, the development of Islamic political parties has decreased both in quantity and electability since they cannot present attractive programs for the people and have innovative cadres who can be role models. They cannot maintain their electoral votes since they are unable to change their ideology and politics, internal grouping, and identity crisis. 2019 general election was held simultaneously to elect legislative members at the central and regional levels and to elect president and the vice president. The rise of political parties was a manifestation of the emergence of Islam-based political parties after the New Order. It is because the New Order regime carried out a decentralization policy with series of policies. Now come to the theoretical framework. Based on a comparative study held by Hammam, which reported that some religious parties were able to survive after adopting moderate ideological views, while other religious parties were unable to survive or relied on party ideology. The two prominent Islamic parties in Indonesia are PKB and PKS. Factionalization theory research by Munandar that factions occurred internally in PKS. The complexity of factionalization or grouping is coupled with several grouping factors. This study reverts to the assumption that PKS dynamics in following the post-reform general election have changed. Talking about the method, this case study uses descriptive analysis and qualitative research. Now let's move to data presentation and analysis. Opposition played by a political party is one of the main factors of modern democracy, while PKS took the place of opposition. Position of opposition in democracy has several main functions, balancing force to the authority. PKS balances the force to the authority by choosing as an opposition. Under the government of Jokowi and JK, PKS took the place of opposition. While in the periods of President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, PKS took the place as coalition. In 2014 president election, PKS supported coalition party which suffered from a defeat in carrying out presidential and vice presidential candidates. And through the Suro Council Assembly, PKS then took opposition place. The ability of PKS as the opposition party to Jokowi JK administration was proven by its active roles to conduct criticism and control to the government policies. Based on the PKS statutes and rules of association, Suro Council was carried out in an assembly such as Musyawarah Majelis Suro, which is the high-level assembly of the PKS. Meanwhile, the decision of making the Suro Council in a manner of ijma or acclamation. Internal conflict happened after 2004 election. It is because differences in party orientation related with leadership and decision making internally within PKS. PKS keeps survive because there is good regeneration system and the communication patterns which applied by its member. The communication patterns include the system of bayanat or explanation, koror or command, and taklimat or announcement. These communication patterns begin from the low level up to the highest level, which is the Suro Council. Every political party in Indonesia suffered from internal conflict, including PKS. The existence of PKS in the era of Jokowi organization and cadre system are stated in the Memorandum of Article of Association. According to Basedu and Straw, PKS organizational system and cadre are in the form of the existence of political parties with reverse to the organizational dimension. The management of an organization of a political party is a management that is carried out by more than two people, meaning that the management is carried out in groups that spread over several regions. Barnett confirms that the organization is a system and work activities that are carried out by two or more people to achieve goals. Political parties are categorized as organization, so PKS as a political party, it is an organization. And because of the spreading of the people and cadres, PKS activities can be realized as political organization activities. As you know, before 2004 election, PKS was the former Partai Keadilan or Justice Party, which then increased in number of its cadres in 2004. This research supports the research conducted by Noor. In his research, he explained that when compared to other political parties stated on the PowerPoint, PKS is one of the political parties that can be categorized as an institutional political party. which means the elements of party decision-making, autonomy, party internal conflict management, party financial source autonomy, regeneration system, and external relation outside the party occur according to the agreed mechanism. And then how do PKS elite make their decision? The decision-making model is done by bottom-up communication or upward communication model. The upward communication model is a communication model carried out by subordinates to the superiors in the form of proposals or suggestions that will be used in decision-making of an organization, with the aim of the organization at the top level to accept the proposals of the lower level organization for the sake of running the organization. In PKS, the political elite is a group of people who have political authority in making decisions, who has full authority with aspects of politics and people who influence. They are persons who have high position in the party. The highest position is Suro Council, and at the bottom level is DPTP with significant role in daily political dynamics. Next level structure is at the province and then the district, sub-district to village levels. Each level has its own function and authority. It means every level has people in charge and can make decisions. What is the conclusion? Okay, here we go. Well, we can see the existence of PKS in the Jokowi JK era because the role of PKS as the government's opposition. PKS has a strong regeneration system that other parties in Indonesia do not have, namely through tarbiyah. The use of identity politics can increase public participation in using their voting rights in every election. The use of identity politics on the electoral side has a significant effect on the votes acquired by certain group-based political parties such as PKS, which is the representative party of Islamic groups. For further research, it's necessary to compare the existence of Islamic-based political parties in Indonesia which have a role as opposition or a coalition in the ruling government. This is the last part of the review. I think it is closely related to our subject, English for Islamic Studies, as we find many vocabularies and knowledge on this field. It's very interesting to know about the dynamics of Islamic political parties, especially PKS, which played an important role as an opposition party, and it can survive well in the election as a big Islamic party in Indonesia. Next, the system of regeneration through tarbiyah is a very distinguished method compared than other parties deserve an appreciation from all of us. Actually, there are so many vocabularies related to our studies, but here I will take ijma, or you say acclamation, bayanat, explanation, qoror, comment, taklimat, announcement, iltizam, commitments, and dakwah, or we say preaching.
Well, I think it's enough for my presentation of the review of the journal, and thank you very much for your kind attention. If you have any comments on my review, you can text me on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.